Let's be honest, cheddar really does make everything better. Behind every glorious slice or melty bite, making the fan favorite food we love involves a complex journey and some behind-the-scenes magic. From the soil that grows the feed for cows, to the milk they produce, and all the way through factories, packaging, and refrigeration, cheese goes through many stages before reaching your plate. Of course, each step along the way leaves its mark on the environment. The full life cycle of cheese, from farm to fork, and sometimes the forgotten back of the fridge, accounts for the resources used, the energy needed, and even the waste we sometimes forget about. If you're unfortunate to have a delicious chunk of cheddar go bad, tossing it means you're also tossing the resources that made it. It all starts in the field. Land and water are used to grow crops like corn, soybeans, and alfalfa as feed for cows. Machines help with planting and tending to the crops, and fertilizers and pesticides are often used to make sure the yields are strong. These crops are key to keeping cows well fed, which directly affects how much milk they produce. Dairy operations take a lot of resources, but one of the biggest environmental impacts comes from cows' digestion, called enteric fermentation, which produces methane, a high-impact greenhouse gas. Managing manure also plays a big role, as it can release additional methane and nitrous oxide, another greenhouse gas, if not properly handled. Plus, running milking machines and keeping the cows healthy requires quite a bit of energy. Once the milk is collected at the farm, it's hauled to processing plants in insulated tanker trucks, though these trucks aren't refrigerated. While the impacts of transportation are relatively small in comparison to other life cycle phases of cheese, it still uses energy and produces emissions from the fuel. During manufacturing, raw milk is turned into cheese through steps like pasteurizing, curdling, separating the whey, salting, pressing, and aging. Some raw materials involved in these processes, like salt, have their own set of impacts too. Overall, manufacturing cheese is a pretty energy-heavy process, especially when it comes to refrigeration, heating, and using machinery to get everything just right. After the cheese is made, it gets packaged for distribution. This usually means wrapping it in materials like plastic, paper, and cardboard to keep it fresh and protected, and to make sure it gets to stores in one piece. Cheese is then shipped to distribution centers and stores in refrigerated trucks, keeping it at the right temperature to prevent spoilage. The distance it travels can vary a lot depending on the end market. Once it arrives at the store, cheese is usually kept in refrigerated displays so it stays fresh for shoppers. Keeping it at the right temperature uses a lot of energy, and even things like lighting and heating in the store add to the overall environmental impact. After buying cheese at the store, it's brought home and stored in the fridge, sometimes for days or even weeks. Home refrigeration uses energy too, and refrigerators run all day, every day. Cheese's impact doesn't end with the last bite. There's also the packaging to consider. While some of this packaging can be recycled, not all materials are accepted everywhere, meaning much of it ends up in landfills. To top it off, cheese that spoils before it's eaten can end up as food waste in landfills, releasing greenhouse gases and adding to cheese's overall climate impact. Like all foods, cheese has an environmental footprint, but there are simple ways to reduce it. Small changes, like buying local, purchasing only what you'll use, choosing more plant-based options, using proper storage techniques to extend the shelf life of food and reduce waste, and composting what remains can really add up. Every step towards more sustainable food habits makes a difference, and it all starts with being mindful about what does and what doesn't end up on our plates.